Welcome back to Brain Bite Size. Today, we're diving into a topic everyone can relate to at some point in their lives. 11 signs someone dislikes you. Life may be filled with sunshine and rainbows, but not everyone enjoys your rainbow. So, let's unravel the signs that might reveal someone's hidden feelings. Number 1. They're brief in communication. If you've noticed that your conversations with this person have become as shallow as a kiddie pool, it may indicate their underlying feelings. When someone is not interested in maintaining a relationship or doesn't enjoy your company, they often resort to being brief in their communication. This could manifest as short, curt responses, the kind of responses that contribute nothing to the conversation and give it no room to grow. For instance, when you ask about their day, you might get a one-word answer like, "Fine," or "Okay." These responses are not only lacking in detail but also enthusiasm. They're trying to wrap up the conversation as quickly as possible. They avoid engaging in deep, meaningful exchanges and stick to the bare minimum. Almost every word they utter is calculated to bring the conversation closer to its end. But why does this happen? When someone doesn't like you, they naturally want to minimize their interaction with you. Keeping their responses brief limits the duration and depth of their conversation with you. They aim to create a certain distance and a wall preventing any real connection. Number 2. They speak through body language. Our bodies, often unconsciously, express our true feelings and attitudes more accurately than our words do. When someone dislikes you, this negative sentiment tends to leak out through their physical cues. For instance, one common form of negative body language is avoiding eye contact. When someone dislikes you, they might find maintaining eye contact hard. Their gaze might wander around the room, never quite settling on you. This lack of eye contact could indicate discomfort, disinterest, or hostility. Another telling sign is crossed arms. This posture is universally recognized as a defensive stance. It's as if the person is creating a physical barrier between themselves and you, a protective shield that keeps you at arm's length. Moreover, the person may lean away from you when you're talking to them. This leaning away is a non-verbal way of creating distance, of pulling back from the interaction. It indicates they're uncomfortable in your presence and prefer to keep their distance. Number 3. Trust is hard to come by. One of the key signs that someone may harbor negative feelings towards you is their constant suspicion of your intentions. Even when you're acting in good faith and with the best intentions, they might question your motives, scrutinize your actions, and doubt your sincerity. This persistent skepticism is exhausting and indicative of their underlying distrust. Moreover, this distrust manifests itself in the form of distance. The person who secretly dislikes you may constantly keep you at arm's length, physically or emotionally. They might avoid getting too close to you, sharing personal information, or involving you in their life. This distancing behavior is a protective mechanism to safeguard themselves from potential harm or disappointment. In such situations, it's important to remember their lack of trust is more about them than you. It could stem from past experiences, personal insecurities, or their emotional baggage. While it's natural to want to bridge this trust gap, it's also crucial to respect their boundaries and give them the space they need. Number 4. They get easily irritated. The frequency of arguments or disagreements can provide insight into their feelings towards you. If you notice that your interactions often end up in conflicts or heated discussions, this could indicate their underlying disdain. When someone dislikes you, they tend to have a lower tolerance threshold for your actions or words. They are quick to get frustrated or annoyed, even over trivial matters. It's as if your mere presence has the power to shift their mood from good to bad. You might observe that they were perfectly fine before your arrival, but their mood takes a nosedive as soon as you enter the scene. Moreover, they may seem on edge during your interactions, as if they're constantly bracing for something wrong. They might interpret your words or actions in a negative light, leading to misunderstandings and disagreements. This heightened sensitivity and propensity for irritation often stem from their negative feelings towards you. Number 5. Forced etiquette. Unlike open hostility, secret dislike is often masked with a veneer of politeness to avoid confrontation or conflict. It's a subtle form of deception where the person puts on a facade to conceal their true feelings. One typical behavior you might notice is forced smiles. When someone secretly dislikes you, their smiles may seem insincere or strained. It's as if they're trying hard to appear friendly and pleasant, but their facial expressions betray them. Their smiles don't reach their eyes, and their laughter seems hollow or forced. Another way they might mask their dislike is by acting overly polite. They might use formal language, maintain a safe distance, or avoid personal topics. This excessive politeness often comes across as stiff and unnatural. It's their way of maintaining a cordial relationship on the surface while keeping their negative feelings hidden underneath. Furthermore, you might feel tension or discomfort during your interactions. Despite their outwardly polite demeanor, there's a sense of unease that you can't quite put your finger on. This dichotomy between their actions and vibes usually indicates their concealed dislike. Number 6. Avoidance game. When someone goes out of their way to avoid your presence, it's usually because they feel uncomfortable or uneasy around you. You might notice this avoidance in various forms. For instance, even when you're nearby, they might prefer to communicate through emails or texts instead of face-to-face interactions. This indirect communication allows them to maintain a safe distance and minimize contact with you. Furthermore, if you cross paths, they always seem to have an excuse ready to escape the situation. They might suddenly remember an urgent task or receive a phone call to attend immediately. These ready-made excuses are often their way of dodging uncomfortable encounters with you. This pattern of avoidance extends beyond physical encounters. They might also refrain from engaging with you on social media, ignoring your posts or comments, or refraining from liking or sharing your content. This virtual avoidance is equally indicative of their secret dislike. Number 7. Half-hearted listening. Genuine interest and care are often reflected in the quality of someone's listening. Still, when a person isn't invested in what you're saying, it could indicate their underlying negative feelings towards you. Half-hearted listening manifests in several ways. For instance, they might only pay attention to parts of your story, missing key details or ignoring essential points. They might ask irrelevant questions or fail to respond appropriately to what you're saying, suggesting they must be fully engaged in the conversation. Moreover, they frequently zone out or appear distracted when you're speaking. Their eyes might wander, frequently check their phone, or seem lost in their thoughts. These behaviors suggest that they'd rather be somewhere else or doing something else than listening to you. Another indicator of half-hearted listening is their need for follow-up. They might not ask further questions about your story or express interest in knowing more. This absence of curiosity or empathy often reflects their lack of concern or interest in your experiences or feelings. Number 8. No effort to understand. When someone has negative feelings toward you, they often disregard your ideas or values, making you feel as though you're invisible or unheard. One common way this plays out is by dismissing your thoughts or opinions. They may quickly brush off your ideas without consideration, or they might belittle your views, making you feel insignificant. This dismissive attitude reflects their lack of respect for your intellect and their underlying dislike. They might also constantly try to one-up you. Whether it's a story, an idea, or an achievement, they always seem to have something better, or more impressive, to share. This constant need to outdo you is often their way of undermining your worth or value. Furthermore, they won't support your values or beliefs. Even if they disagree with them, people who care about you will still respect your values and provide support. However, when someone secretly dislikes you, they might openly criticize your values or make no effort to understand why they're important to you. Number 9. Social gathering snubs. If you've noticed that you're consistently not invited to social events or gatherings where this person is involved, it could be a sign that they're deliberately excluding you. Exclusion from social events isn't a random occurrence. It's a calculated decision that indicates the person doesn't want to spend time with you or have you around in their social environment. This deliberate isolation is often a way for them to express their dislike without confronting you directly. It can be a tough realization, but when someone doesn't extend an invitation, it's often because they'd prefer it if you were not there. They might feel uncomfortable with your presence or believe their experience would be more enjoyable without you. This exclusion extends beyond face-to-face gatherings. In today's digital age, social snubbing can also occur online. If you notice that you're not included in group chats, online events, or social media threads, it's likely the same dynamic at play. Number 10. Trust your gut. Trusting your gut can often be a powerful tool in discerning others' hidden feelings towards you. Your subconscious mind picks up on subtle cues and behaviors that your conscious mind might overlook, alerting you through a gut feeling that something isn't quite right. Paying attention to these feelings is crucial if you constantly feel uneasy around someone or sense that they're not worth your time. Your intuition might pick up on their lack of respect, dismissive behavior, or hidden hate. These intuitive insights are often more accurate than we give them credit for. Remember, life is too short to invest your time, energy, and emotional resources into people who don't appreciate you. If your gut tells you that someone doesn't value your presence or contribution, it might be time to listen and reassess your relationship with them. Number 11. Backhanded compliments. A backhanded compliment often involves a comparison that undermines you or a remark that subtly devalues your achievements. For instance, if they say, "Wow, you've improved your style. It's almost as good as mine," it may sound like a compliment initially, but the underlying message is that their style is still superior to yours. These comments can be tricky to spot because they're cloaked in positivity. However, the sting of the hidden insult is often unmistakable. It leaves you feeling deflated rather than uplifted, confused rather than appreciated. Furthermore, a person who frequently gives backhanded compliments is often trying to assert their dominance or superiority. They use these remarks to belittle you or make themselves seem better. This behavior reveals their lack of respect for you and their hidden dislike. And there you have it, 11 signs that might suggest someone secretly dislikes you. Not everyone will be your biggest fan, and that's okay. Focus your energy on those who truly appreciate your presence in their lives. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Brain Bite Size for more insightful content. Until next time, stay curious and keep your brain buzzing.